says 0 people. Yeah. So it says one person popped in before the 2-minute and 30 mark. It's usually when people will come in if YouTube puts it into a stream where other people, oh look, I got into a stream. YouTube must have put me on a 48-hour timeout or hiding me for 48 hours or something because maybe I mentioned the wrong thing about AI. Carol, what's going on? I did a couple of streams where I titled it AI something, and all of a sudden everybody's, oh, no, I'm not Biden. No, I'm not one of those globalists, Satanists. Yeah, the two-party puppet show has people entangled in emotional narratives that don't stop the movement of the globalists and the monopolists of this world. Hey, Melvin Dar Marnin. Are these AI chatbots that are coming in? Oh, it's Carlo Alexander. For some reason I thought it said Carolyn. Sorry. Yeah, I do need to use a magnifying glass to be able to read sometimes if you've got names that are mingled together in small print, lowercase letters. It's like, I probably need a new set of, that's probably what I should have done today. Just go look at, you're not AI, okay. Or a chatbot, right? No, you never know with these, the way YouTube fudges the numbers. Yeah, artificial intelligence, it's my understanding that there are about 40 to 50% of the data centers in the world are in the United States alone. And these data centers require a huge amount of resources. And the way that they use the resources are not natural, and they're not replenishing the environment. They're only drawing from the environment and poisoning people. Firewood. Firewood? I have plenty of firewood. Yeah, these data centers should use firewood for their electricity, right? Yeah, I like water. Yeah, they like a lot of water. Understanding you're talking 200 million gallons of water every single day for the current structure of these data centers. 200 million a day. And they extract it from the aquifers, they extract it from lakes, they extract it from rivers, they extract it from, the ground, and yet they don't, some of them are actually exhausting it into steam, putting it up into the hydrologic flow system, but not replenishing the actual water table that they extracted it from. And that's kind of detrimental. I'm Scott. But the thing about the AI and the data centers, these industry monopolists which control the currencies of the world, all the nations, they control the healthcare industries of the world. They control the manufacturing of arms, for national militaries worldwide. They control the energy industry. They control the what do you call it? The agricultural industry. They've monopolized entire industries, but they're investing trillions, multiple trillions of dollars into data centers. It's only for one purpose. And that purpose is to set up a system of complete surveillance and control of every individual. When the internet first came out, I immediately knew that this was the beginning of what the Bible speaks of, where you will not be able to buy or sell without verifying your identification by one of three means. It's a system of complete control. And there are other scriptures and prophecies which kind of lend to the idea that it may be a time of complete surveillance as well as complete control. Because if you control the money, everybody that works within the monetary system and the currency system is going to want to use their money. And if you are no longer allowed to use the money that you earned for your labors without jumping into the system that they've set up with your identification being securely verified, you know, most people are going to go for it, not realizing the end result of that. What we got here? Open back camera, please. Yeah, I know I'm ugly, dude, but sorry. How about if I just do that instead? But is that better? No. Redacted a few different messages. A couple of different ones anyway. I always wondered, what do they say that they redacted the message? But yeah, I put AI on the title of a couple of live streams, and YouTube completely shut me out of any kind of feed or stream so that nobody could see it. Even people that were subscribed to my channels didn't even see it. I don't, according to the numbers, it says I have like 995 subscribers, but I really don't think I even have 50. If I have any number of subscribers, it could be up to 100, but there's no way it's 900, over 900. I think those are just inflated numbers that they put to try to incentivize people to go for that gold, go for that that monetization mile mark. So a lot of people are going. I am from Indiana, and I do a whole bunch of things. Right now I'm driving. That's something I do. I drive. Sometimes I sleep. I do that. Sometimes I swim. Sometimes I walk. Sometimes I run. Sometimes I watch YouTube. I do a lot of stuff. Sometimes I make food. Sometimes I forage for my own food. Sometimes I go hunting for my own food. Sometimes I go fishing for my own food. I do a lot of stuff. I have a meme that says, when they ask me what I do, I say whatever it takes. Now what I do for a living, that's something different. That's usually what people mean when they say, what are you doing? I clean windows for a living. That's what I make my income out of. Cleaning windows. My wages. I'm in a construction zone right now. Have you ever traveled outside? Yes, I've been to a bunch of different places. I've been to Canada, I've been to Turkey, been to a few different countries in Africa. South Africa, Zimbabwe. I don't remember what Dakar is, but I don't know if I would even consider that. I only landed in Dakar. I didn't get out and tour or visit anything, so I guess I really shouldn't count that as a country that I visited because I was in an airplane. Well, you redact a lot of your words. Why do you do that? The only time I did that a couple of times where I just redacted everything I said on somebody's live stream. And it was because it was somebody that just rejected truth. And, you know, I was like picking up my pearls so that they wouldn't get trampled underfoot, right? Jesus said, cast not your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their foot and turn and rend you also. It's like, yeah. Nepal. Oh, interesting. Isn't Nepal where that earthquake was? That where the temple of Shiva, the ancient temple of Shiva was? It was destroyed right after CERN went back online after supposedly finding the boson Higgs particle. How old are you? Amilcar. Artificial intelligence. I suspect maybe technology that has been taught to men by spirits. And how to access or maybe set up and final system of control that Satan is going to have over the entire world through his seed. Why do you delete all of your messages after you type them? Oh, okay. That makes it difficult to have to use a translator to watch a live stream and interact and engage. Earthquake occurred in my village itself. Interesting. Where the temple of Shiva was, right? So here's an interesting thing. The temple of Shiva. Shiva was considered the god of destruction. Shiva was a male god. A lot of people think because Shiva sounds feminine. It's not. It was a male attribute to the god. Was the name of the god of destruction, and throughout different cultures, that god had a different name. Same god, different name. And in the ancient Greek culture, his name was Apollo and Apollyon in the actual Greek. And the ancient site of the worship of the god Apollo, which is Shiva, is exactly where they put the largest hadron collider in the world. It's a hadron particle collider. And it's called CERN. CERN, and it's some kind of a nuclear energy scientific facility where they have a bunch of scientists that are working together with devils to come up with this technology. And this is where AI has come from. But they have, on the site of CERN, they have statues or images of the god Shiva. And in one of their series of particle collisions, they discovered what they claimed was the God particle, the boson-Higgs particle, and it actually shut down CERN. Like their collider broke it when these particles collided. That's the story they give us. But when they were getting ready to go back online, once they had done some repairs, I forgot how long it was down for. It may have been like 3 years or something. But when they finally got it all repaired and ready to put it back online, these scientists did the ancient dance of destruction of the goddess Shiva on the site of, the worship of Apollo, which is the same god. And right after that, there was an earthquake in Nepal that completely destroyed the temple of Shiva. And it's kind of like the worship of Shiva was removed from that location to kind of centralize the power of that god, or the spirits behind that god, into one location. Now the Bible says that there's coming a time, and this is in Revelations, I think it's chapter 6, it might be chapter 7, that says that there's going to be an angel that's going to come down with the keys to the bottomless pit. And that angel's going to open up the bottomless pit, and then smoke is going to arise from this pit. And then these creatures are going to come forth that are going to torment men for 5 months. And it says that they have a king over them. These creatures that come up have a king over them. And his name is Abaddon in the Hebrew, but Apollyon in the Greek. So I think that what they're doing is they're trying to get the keys to that bottomless pit to release these spirits, these creatures, into the earth, which are going to cause great harm to men and torment men. And then, their king being the god Apollo, also known as Shiva in the in that culture. The ancient gods had similar attributes all throughout different cultures and different time frames, but they had the same attributes. They were the same god. Shiva and Apollo are the same god. I am 30 years old, I believe. Hi there, welcome. I believe in only one God. There is only one God, and there is only one mediator between God and men, the man Christ Jesus, who gave himself a ransom for all to be testified in due time. I have to delete messages because my phone is hanging. Oh, okay. Tudova King. I don't know what that means. What is that? Hendry Lim? Hi there, Hendry. I wonder, it wouldn't know. He's still in jail, Craig Hendry. I only know one person. In all my life, I've only met one person with the last name Hendry. And that was Craig Hendry. And I haven't met him. When he first started out on his YouTube channel, I was talking with him through the comment section. And I had a friend of mine, or an acquaintance of mine, who had met him and actually went on a collaboration with him. And I kind of gave him some unwanted advice. I wish you would have listened to it. You're not Craig Hendry or of his family, are you? I am one of these people that says I told you so. Just for the record, I do that. I tell people I told you so when they don't listen. And then when I told them what was going to happen and it happens, I say, I told you so. I don't enjoy it. I'd rather people actually heed wisdom and not get punished for not doing it. I work at taking people to base camp on Mount Everest. Wow, that's pretty cool. That's an interesting job. Every dead body on Mount Everest was somebody that was highly motivated at one point in time. Every one of them. I tell people, and here's something, if you work on the mountain, you can probably appreciate this. I tell people, don't fear the mountain. The mountain will kill you. Fear the God that made the mountain. He can keep you alive. And he can also kill you and cast your soul into hell. But don't fear the mountain. The mountain will kill you. Fear God. And it's the same thing with anything in nature. Don't fear the jungle. The jungle will kill you. Don't fear the valleys. Don't fear the river. The river will kill you. Fear the God that made the river. Don't fear the government. Don't fear man. Don't fear man. You know, that's what Jesus said. Fear not man, who has only power to kill you, and after that, nothing else. Don't fear something that can kill you. Fear the one that can kill you and cast your soul into hell. Fear him. that does sound like a pretty interesting job. I would, most of my life I've been an adventurer and a risk taker. I went on all sorts of wild and crazy adventures through my life that most people wouldn't even think about doing. But my perspective on life is you only live once. Why would you want, and really at the end of my life, I don't want to say, oh, I wish I would have done this, or oh, I wish I would have done that. You know, grab life by the horns and live it. That's what I tell people. Grab it by the horns and live it. And that's how I've lived almost all of my life, is like jump on opportunities to do things that are out of the ordinary, adventurous, risky, counted by some to be fearful. Hey, sometimes I would fear some situations I found myself in, you know, and then I would seek the Lord and I would pray to God, and the Lord would deliver me from the fear and deliver me out of trouble. But it's never without adversity. Look at Paul. He was, what was it, 2 full days treading water after a shipwreck? 2 days of treading water? Well, I'm sure it wasn't all treading water. He was probably using an age-old way to keep yourself afloat, which is just set your head underwater, hold your breath, and then come back up for air and set your head again so you're not exhausting all your energy. As soon as your head comes up out of water, you have to tread water to stay, keep your mouth and nose above so you can breathe. But if you take a deep breath and you hold that breath and you put your face down into the water, you no longer have to tread to keep your head up above the water, and you don't need to exert a bunch of energy. If you're ever stranded out in water that's too far to swim, that's what you should do. You should, you know, minimize the amount of energy you're going to use and just put your head down in the water. Well, yeah, he was stranded out in the water after the ship broke apart. I think it was 2 days. I have to reread that again. Oh, I got somebody in here. And looks like they shut my road down here. Oh, they got it down to 1 lane for something. Hold on a second. Dean Wiley. Okay, what's going on? I got to catch up here. Hold on. Hi, everyone. Yep, Dean. 997 subscribers. Almost there. Tell me the no word, please. I got in here to. Oh, okay. So the no word is AI. I put it on the title of my last 2 live streams, and not one person was able to see 1 live stream. You know, I had 0 views, but, you know, AI or whatever, YouTube said that I had 2 chats, and there was no chats in there. I had no views. How do you get 2 chats with no views? It doesn't make sense. But yeah, I figured I better not put that in the title that I'm going to talk about AI. I literally despise artificial intelligence. Hold on. I believe in only one God, Mount Everest, because Mount Everest is not the God, because he provides money for my family. No, Mount Everest is not your God. Will kill you. Well, Mount Everest doesn't have the power to cast your soul into hell either. If you can't walk the water because you ain't him, if you can't walk the water because you ain't him, lay back and be still. Yeah. I guess you came in when I was talking about instead of treading water, just hold your breath and put your face down into the water in front of you, to be able to, kind of like when you snorkel. And that's actually where I learned it from, was snorkeling. You know, if you get tired, you come up to the surface and you just hold your head down and you breathe through the tube. You don't have to tread water, you don't have to exert water, but as soon as that head comes up out of the water, now the weight of your body wants to pull your head down to the ground, because your head is dead weight above the water surface. But if you've got got your head down in the water, now it's neutrally buoyant, and your lungs give you enough capacity to keep you afloat. Especially someone like me who has a much higher muscle content than I do fat content, because throughout my whole life, when I've held my breath underwater, I'm going to sink down, you know, because muscle sinks and fat floats. And I always used to think it was cool when I was younger, but I found out in order for me to float, I have to take a huge capacity of air in my lungs and hold it, and then I can float. But hey, you know, I think I've gained, almost 15 pounds of fat since I entered my 50s. So, you know, it's distributed pretty evenly, but I gained a little bit of weight. I wanted to get back to working out to take it off, but it's one injury after another now, and that kind of bothers me. But I got to take the punches. I got to roll with them, you know. I do drink from time to time. I didn't see what he said. Can you stop drinking and smoking because it's not good for your body? Yeah, actually smoking isn't bad for your body. It depends on what you smoke, really. If you smoke natural herbs that don't have toxic chemicals, then it's good for you. But if you smoke, you know, like say tobacco that's been sprayed with 1,226 different carcinogenic and addictive chemicals, then yeah, that's a problem. Many people returning from base camp because they drank alcohol. Yeah, I don't drink alcohol much. I'm not like anti-alcohol. I just don't like to get drunk. I will, from time to time, have 1 to 2 drinks. Very rarely will I have 3. But if I do, it's being nursed. You know, like if I go to a party that's going to be a 5 or 6 hour party, which I do from time to time, I'll probably, if I drink, I don't always drink, but if I drink to get a slight buzz, it'll basically be like, I'll drink 1 drink in about an hour's time, or maybe 45 minutes, and then I'll nurse a second drink, just to kind of keep that slight buzz. But I don't like losing, I like having control of all of my faculties. I don't like losing control of that. But there are times when I get that little light buzz, my lips will become a little looser, you know, my body will become a little more relaxed. And I actually find, like, well, you're a marksman, you understand what it's like to kind of over concentrate on stuff, but when you're comfortable, you're not tensed up, you know, you can tend to become much better at your marksmanship. I find that with shooting pool and playing darts and shooting firearms, which now they say you can't even do legally anyway if you have .04 in your blood. Yeah, the founding fathers of this country were, one of them said something, if you drink anything less than 12 shots of whatever hard liquor they were talking about, then you're not a true patriot, or you're not a true American or something. I mean, these guys were drunks. They were getting smashed on hard liquor. And yeah, they didn't say, oh yeah, we, you know, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed unless they have a couple of shots of tequila in their system or whatever. No, I am 100% against all infringements of every kind. How will you do great things in the world? Oh, okay. Hold on a second. I don't think you drink alcohol. Both of us should quit the... I don't encourage people to quit smoking natural tobacco. If you're smoking natural, if you're smoking the stuff that's pre-made, the cigarettes that are pre-made, I do kind of want to discourage people from doing that just because they do spray them with a lot of toxic chemicals. But herbs of every kind have been smoked throughout the centuries, and they are actually, many of them are good for your body and not bad. We've just been inundated with propaganda, which actually derived from Hitler. Hitler, to my knowledge, was the first leader to ever put any kind of a criminal punishment for smoking cigarettes or smoking tobacco. He didn't like smoking anything. He was against smoking. But I tell people, God actually had a whole list of herbs that he wanted smoked perpetually in his tabernacle, and it was for the people to be able to inhale. These herbs have great compounds. In fact, I'm going to show you one now that I've just arrived at home. Where is... I know I got a couple of them. Here's one. This is an herb that's really good for smoking. But I wouldn't recommend... Oh, people smoke marijuana. There's another one, right? But this one here, it's called mullein. And it's got a really fuzzy leaf on it. Well, these leaves are kind of not really big, but sometimes they'll get huge. Sometimes they'll get up to 2 feet long or longer. But they're real fuzzy. I don't know if you can see it. It's just super soft. But the little hairs that give it that softness and that fuzziness are irritants. But that's called mullein. I'm pretty sure this is a second-year mullein plant, but I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, this is one that's been smoked for all time, and it's a respiratory aid. It benefits your breathing. It opens up your airwaves. You know, kind of counterintuitive for people that think that smoking is bad for your breathing and bad for your lungs and bad for your respiratory, but it's actually not. It depends on what you're smoking. You know, here's that plantain that the same stuff I used for that brown recluse spider bite. It's a neutralizer of toxins and poisons. I've used this stuff since I found out about it. That's my go-to first aid for everything. It's astringent. It stops bleeding. It's you can eat the stuff. It's full of vitamins, different compounds. This stuff right here actually healed my prostate. Better watch what I say. YouTube's going to put me in medical prison again, medical misinformation prison. But as you get older, your prostate starts to enlarge, and you know they sell all kinds of things, natural and synthetic, that can take away some of the inflammation of the prostate. But this actually has compounds in it that benefits the actual tissue, strengthens the tissue, and it's anti-inflammatory in its very nature, but it heals the prostate of what's causing the inflammation. And so, yeah, I was getting up 3-4 times, sometimes 5 times in one night to go to the bathroom. I started eating this, and I think after about a couple weeks, I started being able to sleep through the whole night. I'm going to have to take some more of this stuff, though, because I just started waking up once in the middle of the night, which isn't bad for a lot of people. But I know if I can't hold my urine through the night, then I probably need to eat more plantain. I mean, I might just mix it in with my tea. Hold on a second. Wasn't against smoking, J words. Oh yeah. Hold on, I'm missing something here. Now 998. Yeah, I might go to 1,000 today, right? Stay on target. I am making much to do about subscribers. Our host is not. Yeah, well, that's because I think it's probably inflated numbers anyway. Um, Sorry to anyone offended. It popped in my mind. And oh, dude, that's no problem. Oh, I think it's kind of cool to reach that milestone. I'm not gonna say it. You know, it's like it doesn't matter at all to me. Yeah, I think it's kind of cool. If all possible, I'll try to put this there while I relieve myself. I'm going to ease myself right here in my backyard. I have my in my hand. I've told that to people before when I'm on the phone with them. Like, yeah, I got my thing in my hand. Of course, I'm not going to let that show up on YouTube. Come on. Now that I have 1,000 subscribers almost, I can get my OnlyFans started. Yeah. I'm actually checking out an area that I let grow wild. So this is kind of like used to be my garden area. Didn't even rake the leaves. I probably should at least rake them and burn them or something. Leaves create a high acidic environment for the soil. Oak leaves, but they're really good for black raspberries. Oh, there's another. That's one of the things I want to point out. There's another mullein plant. It looks like it might be a second year. Yeah, it's growing a stalk. So if they grow a stalk on it, that's a second year. It's a biannual. And I've got this herb. I'm going to have to identify this. I don't know what it is for certain, but this thing has been popping up. I got one here. I got one there. I got a couple over there. It's a new herb that I've never seen growing in this area, so I want to find out what that is. But that's actually one of the reasons I let it go. Having a garden takes a lot of work, and there's not a whole lot of return on the investment. But if you let everything go to seed naturally and let the earth replenish itself by the natural herbs, then you get to see all kinds of different cool medicines and foraging fruits. My lover girl, she came here. Catch my lover girls. Yes, you are. She always puts her paw on my foot. It's like she's exercising dominion. She wants to have a paw on my foot. She's like, this is my person. See, she does it there, yeah. But she's just loving me. She's just loving me. Yeah, it's my whiskers. Her official name is Frisky. And of course, all cats get their fun-loving names, and she's my Frisker Whiskers. She's my Whiskers. She's my Whiskey. She's my lover girl. Yep. And I think her first nickname was Hawkbait. So I called her Hawkbait when she was only 6 weeks old, I think is when I got her. I had her and her sister that came outside for the first time. They'd never been outside before. And they came outside, and me and my sons we went to a farm to pick her up. We were out there checking them out, and then all of a sudden there was a loud noise. And immediately Puma ran for cover into a bush, but Frisky froze in place and she looked around. And so because Puma ran for cover without really looking to see where she was going, she was just getting away from the noise, I called her Coyote Bait, because if there would have been a coyote in the bush, she would have been food for him. And then because Frisky froze in place out in the wide open, I called her Hawk Bait. And as I shared with you, Dean, on that thread that we were talking about, Frisky actually, it's interesting because Puma about 4 years ago got taken, got a chunk of her hind quarters taken off by a coyote. And Frisky just last year had a piece of her backstrap removed from a hawk. And so it was like I prophetically named them without even thinking that I was like that they were going to fulfill their names. But I just named them by their attitude and the way they did their behavior and their reaction. I'm like, okay, you're going to become bait for a coyote and you're going to become bait for a hawk. I know it's kind of morbid, but I did tell my sons when we first got the kittens that they cannot, I didn't, not that they can't, but just don't get too attached. They may not come home one day. So this is the first time I ever had a beard this long. I started buying beard oil. I don't remember the name of it from Amazon. But it's just a basic oil that doesn't have any scent to it apart from whatever the natural oil scents are. But then I bought some essential oil scents. One of them is tobacco. It's got a scent of tobacco, which I like. And another one is actually rum. And another one has a scent of cedar wood. It is pretty good. So I just put different scents in there. Well, I can't remember the name of the oil. Coyote food, yeah. Yeah, I don't want to talk about my private parts. That's true story. My family doctor, a thing of the old millennium now. Yeah, I know, right? The family doctor. I had one in the 1980s. Prescribed me tobacco to treat bronchitis and asthma. Sure. Sorry to anyone offended, but oh, okay. I guess I didn't miss a whole lot. Coyote food. Hi, kitten. Hi, Whiskers. Hey, Dover girls. Hi, baby. Here's my Dover girls. She wants to go inside. I have not let her inside for the last 3 days. Today is the third day, actually. I won't let her inside because she wouldn't come when I call her, so she wants to go inside. Yeah, well, she's going to have to wait. I got this thing with my cats, and they're learning. They have to come when I call. If they don't come when I call them, I don't let them in when they want to come in. And I think they picked up on that. Because when it's really cold outside, I'll give them a shout. I just yell out the door, Puma, Frisky, come on. And they come running. But if the weather's not bad or adverse, sometimes they don't want to come in. And it's like, okay, but I'm not going to let you in when you want to be let in. So they have to learn that I'm the one that calls the shots. And if they don't come when I call them, they're not coming when they want to. It's kind of like a hierarchy thing. And cats will test. Cats will try to be your lord and your master. And I am one that believes that every single person that has an animal needs to have dominance over that animal. I do not let my cats get the idea that they own their bodies. I let my cats know, and there's a reason for it. Like, there's not one part of their body that I don't have power over. And they don't like it. Cats don't like being touched in their paws. They don't like to be touched. Some don't like their bellies rubbed. Some don't like their back rubbed. I mean, each cat is unique. But I actually take time to make sure that whether they like it or not, my hands are going to be in those areas of their body that they don't want, because if they end up injured, where I have to, suture them up, or I have to apply salve or put some kind of a cast or something on, I'm not going to deal with a fighting cat. I trained them from the time they were babies. I'm not going to deal with a cat that's going to fight me on that, because cats are going to cut you up pretty bad if you don't have dominion over them. They think they got control over their own body. But my lover girl, she doesn't care. She's okay with it. Puma, she just protests because she's like disgruntled. She thinks she needs to be worshipped. All right, man. Watching muted. Cool. Yeah, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be here, though, because I literally just got home. Got to grab my stuff. I don't know if you're still here. Oh, what was your name? Emil Carr. I don't know if you're still here, but I do appreciate that you're looking out for me and you care, that you want, I do get that. And I get that out with people that are like, oh, you got to quit smoking. Yeah, you don't, it depends on what you smoke. But I do appreciate that you care enough that you would think about me. I just, I've learned that we're being lied to about a whole lot of stuff, and that anti-smoking thing is one of them. It's a big propaganda move. It's been decades in the making to get people to think that smoking is bad for you, when there are some compounds that if you don't smoke them, you can't attain the value of them. Mullen is one of those. Tobacco is one of those. All right, I'm looking. I might end up having to, I'm going to have to put my phone in my pocket, I think. Come on. I just pulled out my pressure washer the other day. This deck was looking gray and nasty. And now it's looking like almost new wood. Compared to that gray wood over there, you can see I didn't pressure wash that. It's all treated lumber. So there's no termites. I wonder if I have something. Oh yeah. Go up to the wood pile. That's a nice wood pile. That's a nice wood pile. So this is the oldest wood pile I got. And this is where you're probably going to find termites. It's on wood that's been set in the ground for a long time. The termites have found it. Yeah. If I can find some grain that's facing the ground, I might find some termites. No termites. Maybe this one. I don't know how long this has been here though. Oh, there's beetles. It's like when I was a kid, I used to love to peel back bark and find bugs and snakes and creepy crawlers. No, I'm not seeing any termites. I don't know that I will either. We have a lot of termites on this in this land here. Finding them, they're all subterranean though, and they only come up when there's wood exposed to the earth when they find it. And so all this wood, this is the second oldest pile, and that's been laying there since I think February. Yeah, I suppose that's so March, April, May. It's only been there 3 months. And this one, February and into March, and this is mostly from that tornado that came through. Got this Solomon seal. That's what they call it. I don't remember the scientific classification name for it. Yeah, I got lots of firewood. Here's my bastard logs, the ones that I gave up on. I'll pull out the chainsaw and slice those so they fit. Maybe this is termites. That's evidence of termites. More evidence of termites. But that's from being by the house. Ooh, mycelium. So this white powdery stuff. I don't know if you can see and tell, but that's whitish. And it's up here too. That's actually mushroom mycelium. It's kind of like the root structure for mushrooms. And it looks pretty healthy actually. Pretty stoked to see that. I love me some mycelium. Very, very beneficial for the ecosystem. What they've been doing to the farmland has been killing the mycelium with all the chemicals though. And oh, look at this. Look at what I just found. Hold on. That is a deer tick. I think it's a deer tick. Looks small enough. Oh, it's not leaving. Yeah, they don't eat much. Guess I'll have to Take it off and let it go for a little ride into the ground. Maybe it'll become snake or lizard food. I don't know if snakes or lizards eat those. But it does make me wonder now. I gotta start looking around. This year has been, I guess the last few years have been pretty bad for ticks. One of the big concerns for this property, I live in a sandy soil area, is sand mites and chiggers. Sand mites, they're so small you can't see them, and it kind of gives you the symptoms of Morgellons is what they call it, which is kind of like a psychological thing, but these only come out in the warm months. You don't have that in the winter time. It's just like you feel these little tiny micro pinches and itches on your skin. And my cats, because they cuddle with me, they bring sand mites and sometimes chiggers into the bed. And chiggers are so small, you can't hardly see them. Anywho, yep. Time for me to unpack. I don't know why I went live. I guess I was going to see if I could go to 1,000. I had a little extra time. Got off work early today. Now I'm going to have to turn on my... I got to get my fiber optic working. I got to turn it on. I don't leave my Wi-Fi on through my house when I'm sleeping or I'm not using it. And I'm gone at work. I don't necessarily trust the Wi-Fi signals. So now I got that turned on. Oh, I should have turned on do that. Yep. I'll go grab my other phone. Well, it's nice outside. It's like, feels like it's about 60. Hi, Mother Butters. Mother Butters. Hi. Let's see if we can zoom in on him. Mother Butters. He's a long-haired tabby. Buddy, come on. Can you see him? Hi, Mother Butters. And of course I got this one here. She's like, pay attention to me. She said, pay attention to me. Don't pay attention to Mother Butters. She says, I want your attention. You want my attention, baby girl? Yeah. What do you want? What do you want, my baby girls and lovers? Yes. See my lover girls. He loves me. There goes that paw. Oh, she put it on my foot for a minute, and then she stopped. What do you want, baby? What do you want? The whiskers. Whiskers. She's getting hair all over my pants. You rubbing your hair all over my pants. Yes, you are. Call this cat cam. Yeah, I'm glad she stuck around these 7 years, I think. Let's see, since 2017. Oh, 9 years. She's 9 years old. Yeah. She's 9. I just realized that. Almost 9 exactly, actually. She stuck around for 9 years. And so was her sister. Puma! Come on! Get the whiskers. Is that how you take ownership? You put your paws on my boot? Is that you claiming ownership? Says this is mine. So this is mine. Am I your man? Yes, I'm your man. Yes, I am. You might love her, girls. But yeah, look at all these black raspberries. Last year is when when the black raspberries were coming out. That's when I started to live stream, actually, around that time. It's been a year. Before I did the black raspberries and the live streaming, I think I had like 70 subscribers. And then when I started doing the live streams with the black raspberries, I started getting more and more subscribers. Or the numbers were showing up more and more. Alright. Hold on a second. It's almost too warm in my house for me. It is 70 degrees inside my house. I'm tempted to open the windows because I love that nice cool breeze that's coming in from the north. But I probably won't. All right. Yeah, I'll do it right now. Got to connect my Wi-Fi. I just want to see how many subscribers I got. 998 subscribers. 998. Come on, YouTube, put me in the mainstream so I can say, give me 2 more subscribers. Trying to get this thing situated here. How can I do this? $998. We're at 998. I don't know how those other channels do it. 998 subscribers. Oops, I must have said a no-no word. Artificial intelligence. Come on, hit the like, hit the notification bell, hit the subscribe button, share. Hype. Do everything you can. I just need 2 more. 2 more so I can shut off ads on my channel. That's something a lot of people don't know is YouTube puts ads on videos to channels that are not monetized. And then once a person is able to become monetized, if they choose to not become monetized, they can select to stop ads from playing on their channel. And so I think that's what I might do. Because I remember finding out I'd watch my own videos from a different device, a different account. I'd have ads, and I'd be like, I didn't put those ads there. I'm not getting paid for them. Oh, somebody's getting paid for them, but it ain't me, and I'm the one that produced the content. Those bastards. Under duress. 998 subscribers. Hmm. Hmm. Lackluster's not subscribed to me. What's up with that? James Freeman's not subscribed to me. What's up with that? Here's the deal. Brian, he's not subscribed to me. Come on, Brian, subscribe, dude. I just need 2 more subscribers. Oh, yeah. Maybe I'll just cut it off here and I'll get to 1,000 on my next stream. Maybe. All depends. All right. Peace.